Good afternoon, everybody. It is August 6, 2022, and I'm announcing a start of a new build. I'm waiting the paint to dry on the three guitars. I did the clear coat, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. I saw this ad on my local Facebook page. Right here, First Act electric guitar in Crestview, Florida. I'd seen it up there for quite a while. Listing is 5 weeks old. So I was looking at this guitar and I'm thinking that would be a cool guitar. It's a cool shape. It's in, rough shape, but doing what I do, I figured, you know what? I can make this guitar awesome. You know what I mean? So a few days ago, I contacted the owner and I offered him $20 and he accepted. It said 50 or best offer, but like I said, it's been 5 weeks. So I went and got this guitar yesterday and let me get it out and then I'll show it to you and we're going to start a build on it, and I'm going to show you something. The paint that I plan on doing for it is this pattern right here, which is going to be amazing. Not that one, but hold on a second, let me show you what I want to do. This right here, I'm going to imitate this paint job with these colors, the neon green, yellow, and then the black. So it's going to be pretty sweet. Yeah, just like that. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to do black on the sides and just have the green and yellow on the top and the back and have the sides actually black. That would be actually kind of cool and interesting. So that's the paint job that's going to have. That's going to be sweet. So let me grab the guitar and I'll be right back. Alright, here's the guitar. I went and got it from yesterday when he was coming home from work. Really cool guy. His name is Jason. And as you can see, it's in pretty rough shape. I played it yesterday. I set it up a little bit. I did the intonation. As you can see, I need to replace the nut. And it's in fairly rough condition, which is, the neck is good. It doesn't have any dents or any major dings. It does have some dents, but nothing major. I could always sand it out and refinish it, or I could just leave it the way it is. But as you can see, it's a little, the body's rough. But I mean, for 20 bucks, I'm going to transform this guitar. It's got some dings. This guitar is going to get some love and some TLC. Okay, what I plan on doing is the paint job that I showed you in the earlier little clip. I'm going to eliminate the tone knob. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these two holes in and I'm going to put the master volume right there. I'm going to swap out the pickup for a really good pickup. I'm going to swap out the bridge for I'm going to do all black hardware. So I'm going to swap out the bridge for this exact same bridge, top mount, top load, strat style non-trim bridge. Like I said, all black hardware, black input jack. I'm going to replace that. It's pretty cool. It's got I'm going to replace the plate with a black one, of course, or fill that in and paint it black. These tuners are the really cheap tuners, so I'm going to replace these tuners with some better tuners, and I'm going to paint the front of the headstock the same color. But I just wanted to show you the guitar as it sits before I do anything to it. I didn't even clean the body or anything like that. I'm going to fill any dings and dents. I'm going to sand it, make it smooth, primer it, black coats. I'm going to do all the fretwork, make sure all the frets are level, crowned, and polished. And we're going to turn this guitar into something awesome. $20 guitar that I bought on Facebook. We're gonna transform. So this is the beginning stage. So I just wanted to show you how the guitar sits now. Like I said, it's in good condition. I mean, there's no like major cracks or there's not any structural damage. It's all superficial. But yeah, we're gonna make this thing awesome, and it is pretty girthy. I'm not sure. It's definitely not basswood. It could be some sort of particle board. I'm not sure. I know these guitars, the First Act guitars are fairly, and the model number is ME539, I guess. So these, but I like the shape. The shape is really cool. It's kind of less polished. It's like Paul Stanley-esque. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. So. Alright, this will be the first stages. This pickup actually sounded pretty good. I plugged it in and I set up the intonation to make sure the bridge was in the proper spot, and it is. Everything intonated really good. And it played actually pretty good. I mean, the action is super high. So either I'm going to have to shim the neck, but the low E you know, you can see where somebody corrected the nut, because I did take that off and the nut slot's cut, but that's easy to replace the nut. You're gonna replace the nut. So, but yeah, all right. Start of a new transformer build. Start from the. We wanted to show you from the very beginning, and all right. So the next step is gonna be to tear it down. And we'll go through the steps and everything. Like I said, I'm going to eliminate the tone and just do the volume. So we're going to fill those holes with body filler, all the major dings with body filler. But alright, so we'll see you next step. I'll probably start this tomorrow. It's the 6th today, and it's already kind of midday, but I've got a lot to do today. So, alright, hope everybody's having a good day, and we will see you soon. This is going to be fun. You're going to see the transformation. This is going to be awesome. And with that paint job that I got planned, with the neon yellow and black, with the George Lynch-esque paint jobs, which will be my 3rd one that I've done, it's going to be sweet. Alright, so, and we will see. We'll see you soon. Alright, good morning everybody. How's everybody doing on this fine Sunday? It is sunny and beautiful, but we're indoors and it's time to continue work on the first Axe Bengal Tiger electric guitar build. Alright, as you recall in previous video, I showed you where I got this from and the state that it's currently in. Okay, so the first step is I'm going to take the strings off and I'm going to completely dismantle the guitar. So, and then today, hopefully what we can do is fill in these 2 holes. I've decided I'm going to add a kill switch too. That'd be a really cool effect, just to on-off kill switch. So we're going to have the volume knob and then the kill switch right there. And I'm going to order all black hardware like I had mentioned before. And another thing I decided, I'm going to paint the back of the neck the same colors as the body and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this smooth, make sure there's no dings, and I'm going to color the whole neck black, including the back of the neck and the front of the neck. It'll all be black. And then eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the Bengal Tiger stripes. That's going to save the black on the front of the headstock and the back and the neck. And then we're going to do the green on the sides and then yellow strip in the front, same thing. So it's going to match everything. It's going to be really cool. I've never done that before on my neck before. I have done the Michael Sweet, where I've done the neck on the back there, similar. But yeah, alright, so let me dismantle it and we'll see in a little bit. Alright, got the guitar completely dismantled and the guitar body's in pretty fair shape. Got some dings and nicks and all that kind of stuff, but I'm going to fix all that. It doesn't have any major issues or anything like that. I'm going to save the certain parts here, like the pickup cavities. I might save the truss rod cover and scratch out that logo. I'm going to order all new parts, everything else. But I might keep this stuff on hand. I actually like the sound of this pickup, even though it's a really cheap pickup from these guitars. But man, it sounds really good. But stick all this in a bag. And we'll start working on the body first. And what I'm gonna do, I'm going to drill an opening for the new volume knob placement, and then the on-off kill switch, and then I'll fill all the rest body filler. But all right, we'll see you next step. All right, another quick update for you. What I figured out was the pickup. I know the pickup looked a little strange in shape, and it actually was. I'm going to backfill a little bit. On the bridge side, I'm going to add some body filler because it's a little bit too big. Let me see if I can show you what I mean. Standard pick guard or pickup ring. If you were to look at this pickup ring, you can see it's right on the edge as far as this edge and this edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some cardboard and I'm going to put some body filler. I'm going to fill that into the proper size. The sides are the good. And then I decided I'm going to put the volume knob there at that dot, and then the kill switch there. So, and then I'm going to fill in these two. And I got my Bondo body filler out, and I'm going to fill in the two. And then there's a few spots around the body where I'm going to fill in. And we will see you in a bit. Alright, got all the major voids patched up and some of the minor ones as well. And actually I did the lip, so the pickup will fit in there perfectly with the pickup ring, so that's good. I filled in the two holes and I marked out where I got the volume port that I'm going to put in there, and then the kill switch. And then around the back also I filled in any kind of voids and everything like that. Alright, next step is to take it outside, and I'm going to put some 320 grit sandpaper on a sanding block and get all this nice and smooth and perfect. Then we're going to drill out for the pedometer and for the kill switch. And then if I'm satisfied with how the finish looks, then we could even put this on a hanger and put some primer coats and then let that set for a few days. And then sand the primer really good, and then start layering some black base coats. Yeah, it's fairly quick when you're just modifying it compared to building it from scratch, but yeah. Alright, so that's where we stand, and we'll see you next step. See you in a little bit. Alright, we look outside. We're going to put a good level sand on everything and make these rolls nice and smooth and level. Alright, after about an hour, I got a pretty good sand on it, and it's looking pretty good. All major voids and dings have been sanded and filled and looks pretty good. Alright, so next step is going to be to drill out the pedometer hole and the kill switch hole, and we'll be right back. Alright, and I'll probably put another sand on it before we go to primer. Alright, we'll see in a little bit. Alright, got the openings for the volume knob and for the kill switch, and it is looking good. Alright, let me put a little bit more sanding into this, make sure everything is perfect, and then we'll put it on a hanger, and then we'll go with some primer coats. Alright, we'll see in a little bit. Alright, we are on the hanger. We are sanded nice and flat. I've already blown it a couple times. I'll probably blow it one more time. See one little shiny spot, that'll be okay. I just wanted to show you what it looks like before the primer coats are applied. Got the pedometer and got the kill switch installed and everything else plugged up rather. So, alright. Go with a can of primer. We're gonna go with Old Faithful, the Krylon 2-in-1. Yeah, the good stuff. We got 2 cans of this. Get them at Walmart for about $6, so you can't beat that. Alright, I'm gonna put some coats of primer on here, and we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, primer coats have been completed, and it is flawless. Wow, I love that stuff. That Krylon 2-in-1 is just, wow, look at that. I just can't believe how I can concentrate on spinning this around without touching that. Oh man, that is just perfect. Yep, I am sold on that product. Look at that. It almost doesn't need sanding before the black coats. I mean, I'm still gonna sand, at 600 grit just to get it as perfect as possible, but wow, that Krylon is just, man, look at that. That's just amazing. Alright, so we're gonna let this dry for a day or so. Sand it. I don't think it'll need any more primer, and then we'll go with black coats. This is moving along very quickly. Yeah. Either this product is just, I'm getting good, or a little bit of both. So, alright. Look at that. It's just can't get any more perfect. I don't see any dings or scratches or anything. It's just between the sanding, filling in with the body filler, and wow, primer, filling primer. Alright, so we put this on in the house with the rest of them, and we will see you in a little bit. All right. Good morning, how's everybody doing? It's Saturday, August 13th. It's time to continue work on the first act Bengal Tiger guitar. And I need some redemption from yesterday's fiasco with the Ninja Warrior 2 guitar, which it actually ended up for the best because the paint had a couple flaws, and now those flaws are going to get fixed. But anyway, I'll share the video of that here today. But yeah, this has had a few days to cure, and the weather is actually perfect. It's overcast, cloudy, but we're gonna sand and put some black gloss to start the Bengal process. So yeah, and I did get all the black hardware and the parts, so I'll be working on the neck today as well. And I still haven't decided whether I'm going to do the neck yellow and green, the back of the neck, definitely the front of the neck, but we'll see. Alright, so let me get some 320 grit sandpaper, make this as perfect as possible, and then lay down some black base coats. And then it's off to AutoZone to get some neon green paint, and I'm going to get some chrome blue Rust-Oleum. We've got a plan too for the Still want to go with the anodized blue, but instead of having a 3-step, I'm going to do a 1-step paint process. So we'll see how that goes. But all right, let me put some sanding on this and we'll see in a little bit. Just wanted to show you. As you recall, that the Krylon 2-in-1 paint is just amazing. All right, we'll see in a little bit. All right, we're sanded at 600 grit and it is looking good. I've already blown it off twice, blow it off again. And we're ready for some light coats of black gloss, and we'll see on the other side of that. We'll see in a little bit. All right, quick update. The first coats of black on there, just a really light spray tack coat on there. And you know, you can generally tell when the paint is gonna go good. Like, look at that. That's the first layer, and it's just, man, it's just so effortless. It's just, it adheres to the primer, and it's good. It's perfect. So you might see a little indentation of where the knob is to be, but I think when the paint fills that in a little bit, you won't be able to even notice that, especially with the pattern that I plan on putting on this guitar anyway. So all right, so we're gonna let this flash off for about 10 minutes or so, and probably do about 3-4 coats of black, seeing how it's going to be the underlying coat. I want to make sure we get a solid coat like on the other one. It saved the Ninja Warrior 2 guitar to have a good coat of black underneath, because that's what saved it from yesterday's fiasco again. I'm using that word, it was a fiasco. If you were here, you... Oh man, look at the evidence on the ground, and it's just trying to make something work that wasn't going to work. So all right, so we'll let this sit for a little bit and then we'll put some more coats. All right, let's see in a bit. All right, another quick update on the first act Bengal Tiger electric guitar build. Wow, look at that. Yeah, the black coats went very well. Some redemption from yesterday. Oh man, yesterday was not fun. So all right, so we're gonna let this cure for about a week, and then we'll apply the pattern tape, and we're going to go with the yellow and a neon green, which I'm going to go off to AutoZone, another city, to get the paint. And just wanted to show you again real quick the Ninja Warrior 2 guitar. I did some sanding on it last night, and it is looking awesome. So I guess it's for the best. And I did all the imperfections that were present, so got rid of all of them. So it's going to be pretty cool, and I'll probably paint that today too, and I'll share that with you. So all right, let me get going and we'll see in a little bit. All right, another quick update on the first act Bengal Tiger electric guitar build. Wow, look at that. Yeah, the black coats went very well. Some redemption from yesterday. Oh man, yesterday was not fun. So all right, so we're gonna let this cure for about a week, and then we'll apply the pattern tape, and we're going to go with the yellow and a neon green, which I'm going to go off to AutoZone, another city, to get the paint. And just wanted to show you again real quick the Ninja Warrior 2 guitar. I did some sanding on it last night, and it is looking awesome. So I guess it's for the best. And I did all the imperfections that were present, so got rid of all of them. So it's going to be pretty cool, and I'll probably paint that today too, and I'll share that with you. So all right, let me get going and we'll see in a little bit. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing on this August 11th 2022 afternoon? Yeah, it's a major rain day. Luckily I cut the grass in the front and the back, made it look perfect outside. But now it's time to continue work on the first act Bengal Tiger electric guitar transformation build. And we're gonna do the fretwork. So all right, and replace the nut. The plan is to do the fretwork, condition all the frets, the fretboard, because you can see it looks like it's got a little bit of wear. Maybe sand that lightly and then condition it. I might condition it. I probably actually won't condition it, because I'm going to be painting the back of the neck, and I hate to get that anything that's going to inhibit the paint to stick to the neck. So yeah, we're not going to condition it just yet. But gonna fill in any of the dings. There are several smaller dings, and as you recall, I'm gonna paint this neck completely black. Not the fretboard itself, but everywhere else but the fretboard, including the front of the headstock, the back of the headstock. And I still haven't decided yet. I talked about earlier how I was gonna do the yellow and the green on the sides, but I might just leave it completely black and then just paint the front, the green on the sides and the yellow, and then put my black logo right in the center, and that would actually work pretty good. But then again, I could always paint the back with the stripes and make it completely uniform. But I've decided I'm going to actually go with a different pattern than I initially talked about. I'm actually going to go with the pattern that I said I wasn't going to do, and it's going to be, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, that pattern there, actually, the one I'm going to go with. It's going to be like this. See how it's like going towards the center? And of course, I'll alter this the way to put it on the, you know, the horn is a little bit different shape of a guitar. So, and then there's this pattern here, but I like the center pattern, the one that goes in the center. Let's see if I can find a better picture of it real quick. Yeah. Let's see if I can find, because I did find a Kelly type guitar, and this pattern right here, and that pattern's okay. That's the same sort of a shape as the guitar we're going to be working with, the Kelly type shape, but I really like the centered, having it go to the centered. And this has the green on the center and the yellow on the side. I'm going to do the opposite with the green in the center and the yellow in the center, and on the outside is going to be the neon green, kind of like that. Yeah, so it's going to look like that. That's going to be super cool. But alright, so we're going to work on the fretboard, and as always, I got my tools. I got 320 grit sandpaper on my leveling beam, and this time with the sandpaper, we're going to go 800, 1000, 1200, 1500, 2000, 3000, I do believe, 5000, 7000. Let's see, I can't remember what I'm doing here. 1500, 1200, 1500, 2000. I do believe jump right up to 2500, then go up to 5000, 7,000, 10,000, and then I got one piece of 15,000 I'm going to use and make the frets really, really shiny. Okay, so the first step is going to be obviously to make sure that the neck is completely level and the fretboard is level, and I'll do that by adjusting the truss rod and get my straight edge on there and everything like that. Then we'll tape it up, and then we'll get everything going. Alright, and I'll see you next step. Alright, got the neck completely straight and taped off, and I've showed, you know, me doing fret work so many times over the last year or so that I'm just gonna, let's see if I can make it a little bit cooler in here. Just gonna go through the basic steps. Next step's gonna be to get my Sharpie marker and mark all the frets, and then level all the frets to each other, and we'll see you next step. Alright, see you in a second. Alright, all the frets are level to each other, and I went through with my rocker arm and checked every individual fret. I just wanted to show you real quick, just a little tip there. I've done so many of these. You can see where the material is, the flat line on top is skinnier. That usually means that the material that was taken off was less, and you can see where it's more predominant how there was more material taken off, and that was like a higher fret. Like you see how this fret right here, see my finger, it had less material taken off than these two. That means that these two are higher than this one, and this was a low fret. So by the time, you know, you took off enough material for it to get the top of this, it was less as opposed to the other ones. So, which is good. And these were really good tall frets. So yeah, you could probably get about, I could probably do about 4 or 5 fret levels on this before it would be too low, because these frets were way high and they were really good. So alright, so the next step is going to be to mark them all again. Well, I usually go through with my toothbrush and get all the dust, all the fret material that you take off, because it produces like this fine dust of metal powder, and then go through and then mark them again. And then I've got my 2 ZMAC Z files, which a centered Z file, that's the file I always use. And you got 2 sides, you got sides for the fatter and then for the skinnier neck. And as you can see, I always mark and I use the fatter of the 2. And I've got 2 files, and I've done hundreds of jobs with these 2 files. I wish I was sponsored by StuMac, but yeah, these are really good crowning files if you ever want to get into crowning. And it's a skill. You know, it takes time to get it right, but All right, like I said, I'll mark it, and then I'll put a crown on it and all the frets, and we'll be right back. All right, see you in a bit. I just want to show you what I mean when I mark the frets. See if I can do this one hand. And see, I've notched the Sharpie. This is like a fat tip Sharpie. I've notched it, and when I mark the frets, I'm just doing that. So that's just, and it just shows. It's pretty simple as that. It just shows you where you've been as far as whatever tool you're doing, whether you're flattening or putting a. Yep. I'm trying to do this and not concentrate on where the camera is. So anyway, so I'll mark all these frets and then I'll put a crown on them, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I just wanted to show you I did 3 frets already, and basically what you want is the line in the center to be all the same between all the frets. And basically what you do is you just take your file, and see this is a centered file, so it hits both sides at the same time. You could do one side and then do the other, but I like doing them both. And basically you just have your frets on there. Let's do it on a fret that hasn't been done yet. So try to do this one hand, of course, and you just put minimal pressure and you just sand from side to side, and you kind of rock when you get to the ends, but not too bad, because see on the ends you don't want it to, see that's kind of perfect, just like that. So you see how it makes it in somewhat of a triangle shape, and I've got to do that one in still, but see I triangle shape, and when I go to my sandpaper and I'll actually round that, and it'll put another round surface on all the frets. So, and what it does is it polishes as well as rounds the frets. And I don't do like other people do. They skip this step. A lot of people I see on the internet, they just go right to a Dremel tool and they just buff it out, but they don't actually put a round surface on the fret. It stays pretty much triangle because they're just using the Dremel tool and buffing it just to put a shine on the frets. When you do use the sandpaper, I know it's a lot more work and it takes probably about an hour or two more as far as time, but it just rounds and the playing experience is so much better. So whenever you see somebody online, and I'm not kicking you if you do this, but if you just use the Dremel tool and you just do the easy way of putting, you know, just simple, and I've seen people not even tape off the fretboard, just kind of saving a step. Yeah, it's tedious, it's a pain, but it's a process that's necessary. I mean, when you're doing your guitars, and I'm doing my guitars, and I want them to play perfectly, and I want them to have the round edge, and that's my philosophy. But all right, so I'll see you when I put a crown on all these frets. All right, we'll see you in a minute. All right, got all the frets crowned, and I want to show you what they look like. And you try to get all these black lines of the material that's remaining pretty much the same thickness, that way. All right, so the next step is to go through the sandpapers. I'll start with my, I think 800 grit. Yeah, that's 800 grit or 600 grit sandpaper, because when you file it, it's at 320. And that's the new sheet that I put on. It's got the double stick tape on my leveling beam there. That's 320 grit. And what I'll do is I'll fold it, and then I'll go, let me see if I can do this on camera. I try to hit the sides, and I usually count like about 8 passes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll go all the way up that way, then I'll go on the other side, same thing. And then what I'll do is I'll unfold my paper, and then I'll concentrate on hitting the tops and the sides and the center. I'll do that up and down, and then once that's complete, I'll use the same piece of paper and I'll go from left to right. So, and then what I'm doing is I'm rounding the frets, because and I'll do that, you know, off camera there, but you see how when you crown the frets, it's kind of somewhat of in a triangle shape. So you want them back into a round shape, but now they're all flat and there's no high or low frets. So when you go through the sandpapers like that, it'll take that triangle kind of shape and make them round again. But I'll show you. See how they're, right now they're in the triangle shape, and I'm gonna make them round. And then when I'm finished with that, I'll show you I've got the fret end file, StuMac fret end file, and you see how sharp, there's really none sticking out, but what they call the burrs there, it's just that it's, you round these edges, I'll show that, and you make them round so it doesn't catch your fingers at all, so it feels really good when you play. But alright, so let me get these frets rounded and shined up perfectly, and we'll see in a little bit. Alright, another quick update. Just want to show you the fret dust that actually comes off in your hands. I've already gone through 3 bits of sandpaper, and I just wanted to show you the difference already. Let's see if this will focus. You see how it's already rounding the frets? Yeah, and I still got, probably about 8 more grits to go, but yeah, and you can already see a change in the appearance. They start to get real shiny near the 5,000 grit mark. So, alright, so we will catch back up with you. Let's see if it'll focus here. Yeah, see how it's less of a triangle and it's gradually filing down the edges, so it gives it a round fret. Alright, and that just makes for just awesome playing. Alright, we'll see you in a bit. Alright, another quick update. Are you ready? All the frets have been leveled, crowned, and polished. And are you ready for the reveal? Are you ready? You want to see it? Come on, I can't hear you. What? You want to see the frets now? Oh, okay, check it out. Bam! Alright. Yeah. I love turning these frets into just amazing. Check this out. Oh, look at how round they are. See if it'll focus. Yeah. It's taken quite a while, and I've gone through many, many grits of sandpaper, but as you can see, it's well worth it. What I love the most is these frets are rounded, so when you play them and the strings are on them, they're gonna feel awesome. See how close I can get. Yeah. Alright, so the next step is gonna be to clean my hands off and then peel off all this tape, and then we're gonna replace the nut, and I'll show you the best way to do that, the way that I do it anyway. Alright, we'll see in a little bit. Almost like stainless steel frets, but they're just regular steel frets. Pretty cool. Alright, got the tape peeled off, and I just wanted to show you real quick. I'm going to do the fret ends real quick, and I want to show you what the fret ends look like before I do the fret ends. If it'll focus for me. Focus, come on, focus. Yeah, see how the fret ends, see how they're sharp like that? I'm going to get my fret end file, and I'm going to round them over. And it's basically just a simple process. You just take the frets at the ends, and see that little nib, I'll get rid of that. Yeah, I just wanted to show you how the frets look. Okay, and then let me show you around the back. I'm going to be sanding and filling in any of these imperfections. You can see there's a spot there, and there's a few spots here and there, and I'm going to be filling in these holes because I bought some better tuners, and they should be here tomorrow or the next day. So I'll have to drill these holes wider because these smaller ones, these cheaper holes, have the front nibs that have the little circle discs that I popped out. So I'm going to fill all these holes in, and then we're going to install the new tuners, which are going to have the one hole in the bottom. They're going to be the Gibson-esque tuners, the side, and they're going to be the rounded ovals, and they're going to be really sweet, really awesome looking tuners. They're going to be black, of course, and I'm going to have to drill a new hole for them. So once I fill these in with body filler, and I'm not going to do any of the painting or anything like that, not go out and replace this nut, right? It's pretty soon. But yeah, let me do the fret ends, and then I'll be right back. Alright, another quick update. I got the right side fret ends filed, and I wanted to show you the difference there. You see how I got the corners, and then any like nib that might be on there, and then you kind of round over the frets. So yeah, all of this side, and see there's a little nub there, but it's not affecting, you can't feel it. So I got that side done, and let me show you in comparison to the other side I've got to do yet, and see if it'll focus for me. Let's see. You'll see those little nubs. Try to get it to focus for you. If it doesn't focus, then yeah, there's little nibs on the side there. There we go. Yeah, you see those little nibs? I'm gonna take them and round those. See how they're sharp? That's where the fret spur comes from. So, and then as you can see, I've done this side. And see the difference. See how they're rounded. Alrighty. Get working on the left side and we'll be right back. And I'm using my StuMac. Alright, quick update. All the fret ends have been filed and they are looking and feeling great. Yeah, no burrs at all. It feels awesome. Yeah, there's definitely an art to fret end filing. You just have to work at it, and you try to leave as minimal tool marks as possible. I mean, it's kind of inevitable that you're going to dig into the wood here and there, but if you take your time and have patience with it, definitely, yeah, I know this seems like a lot of work to get just on the frets. I mean, I've been on the frets here for about 4 hours or so, 3-4 hours, working with the frets, but it's just so worth it, because as far as playability and how the neck feels when your hands on the neck. So, alright, so next step is going to be to remove the nut, and that's a fairly easy process. I'm just going to get a screwdriver and a small hammer and just tap it off. Usually it's just applied with just some simple glue, and I'll glue in the new nut, and we'll see you in 1 second. Alright, these are the basic tools I use, and you'll probably, if you go online and you research this to remove the nut, I mean, there's probably tons of people that do it differently, but if you're real careful with the screwdriver, it should do fine as long as you don't dig into the wood. But basically, just put the screwdriver butt end and you barely tap it with your hammer. Barely tap it, the nut should pop right off. Alright, we'll see you in 1 second. Okay, I want to show you real quick. I just tapped it one time, barely touched it. Now maybe I didn't get it good enough. But yeah, so there you go. Barely tap it and the nut will come off, and see hardly no tear away at all. So yeah, that's perfect. And then you'll get an X-Acto blade and kind of remove any of the old material, the old nuts. A lot of these nuts are very cheap. As you see, this is just a cheap nut, and I'll be replacing it basically with another cheap nut because that's all I have on hand. But you can get bone nuts. I might have a bone nut on hand, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna have to shape it a little bit because I want to line it up. I'll get my rocker arm tool, or you can use half a pencil, and then you can kind of where you want to, make it flush enough to where there's enough room so you can adjust the slots when you need to be. Alright, let me get the other nut. Let me find a good nut, and I'll be right back. Alright, final update for today. It turns out I don't have the proper nut size on hand, so I'll have to order one from Amazon. So I'll order that right now, and I'll get a straight edge, and I'll go from side to side and get some of this grit off the fretboard, and then I'll treat it before after I paint it, of course, and then we'll remove any of the residue, the hand gunk or anything, the skin that's on there. So, all right, hope everybody has a good day. It's about 8:40. I've been at it for a while, so I'm gonna call it a day for today, and we will continue tomorrow. And hope everybody's having a good night, and we will see you then. All right, have a good one. Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday, the 14th of August, 2022. It's time to continue working on the first Act Bengal Tiger electric guitar build. I got the new tuners that we were talking about before, and we're going to install them and then fill in all the rest of the stuff, sand this, and maybe put some paint on this neck today. But we'll start working it, and we'll see in a sec. Alright, these are the tuners that I chose. Really cool. Kind of Gibson-esque tuners. And so I'm going to do, and these are definitely fatter than, so we're going to go there and then drill the hole. But yeah, I'm going to have to, I got my Dremel tool out, and I got my bit here, and we'll bore out the holes and install these tuners. Alright, we'll see. Alright, 6 more of these, and we'll be good to go. Alright, we'll see in a little bit. Alright, another quick update. I got all the holes drilled out, bored out to the proper circumference, and this neck was pretty good shape already. It was kind of a D shape somewhat, and I wanted to make it more of a C shape because that's what you get to do when you refinish the necks. So I sanded down here, probably took about maybe an 1/8, maybe a 1/16 of an inch off just in the neck part at the top, and you know, we're near danger zone of the truss rod or anything, but yeah, and it feels amazing. I mean, in the hand and the fret hand, I mean, it felt good before, but at the same time of doing that, man, it's gonna play awesome. I sanded there's several nicks and dents through here, and as you can see, they are gone. So, all right, so I got the Bondo wood filler out, and I'm gonna get some toothpicks and fit them in the holes, and then snip it off, and then get some Bondo, and then cover the holes, and then, you know, sand that nice and flat. There was a big nick out of the neck or the headstock right there. We're gonna fix that, and then we're gonna get the drill out, and we're gonna make the holes for the tuning pegs. And then I'm gonna get my 320 grit sandpaper and make it all nice and good. Then we're gonna tape off the front of the neck board, the fretboard, and the sides, and we're gonna put some black primer and paint on there. I decided to go with the 2X as always, the gloss black, and that'll be the first step. Either I can leave it the black, or I can do the fingers and the yellow in the center and the green on the sides. And then the front, I was thinking about just doing just a little bit of the pattern, you know, the little bit of the tiger bangle on the sides here, just a little bit artistic like it is on the body. And then in the center have my logo in black. And of course, I'm gonna do the black truss rod cover. So it's gonna be pretty cool. All right, we'll see you next step. Let me get the Bondo going and the toothpicks, and we'll see you in a little bit. All right, another quick update. Got everything sanded to 600 grit, looks pretty good. Now I'm going to install the tuning keys and drill out the holes for the new tuning keys, and we'll be right back. Alright, got the new tuning keys positioned and installed and looking good. Alright, let me get the drill out and install the screws. We'll be right back. Alright, tuner's completely installed and looks pretty good. Alright, so now let me disassemble these tuners, and we're going to check all the sanding on the neck, and we're going to tape the neck up, and we're going to put it on the hanger, and we're going to go for some base coats. Alright, we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, got the neck taped up, sanded nice and smooth, everything looks good and perfect. And now we're going to put some light coats of base coats on everything, and fingers crossed everything goes well. I've had a hit and miss painting lately, so hopefully it's a hit. Alright, we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, got first light coat of black on the guitar neck, and you know what? It's just some guitars want to be painted and some don't. This one wants to be painted. It's just gone. Look at that. You could look at. Why can't they all go like that? Anyway, so alright, so this is the first coat. We'll let this flash off about 10-15 minutes. Then we'll go for a second coat. I think we're gonna go a total of 3 coats of black on this one. So, alright, let me show you. See, look at that. That's just. Now, if it went like that yesterday, I would have been a happy person, but it did not. So, alright, we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, how's everybody doing? It's still Sunday, the 14th of August. And let's show you the progress on the neck today. It turned out pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect, as you can see. There's a little bit of dust nibs that were in the finish on the neck itself. If you can see that, if I can get the camera. But it still looks pretty good. I mean, gonna let this cure. And look at that. Went so smooth. See, look at that, the headstock. It's just awesome. And even that's not so bad, because theoretically, I don't even have to sand down the nubs and repaint it black. I'm gonna do the pattern anyway with the, you know, the Bengal Tiger pattern on this one with the green and the yellow and the black. So it'll get smoothed over with the other colors and with the clear. So I might not get all these dust nubs out because it's gonna get more paint anyway. So it's just, as long as I got a consistent color of black on there, that's all I'm really concerned about. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. Alright, and we will continue working when this cures. So, and then we can start working again on the I can't remember the name of the guitar off the top of my head. The second one of the Serpent Sting. Yeah, that guitar right there is a Serpent Sting guitar. And the one up there is going to be the second. And as far as color, I was going to do the anodized purple, like the template that I had underneath that one. But since how it was such a pain, I don't know. And then I was going to go with the red, with this paint, the red Duplicolor chrome red. They make a red, they make a silver, they make a bunch of different colors. So, but I don't know. So I just wanted to show you. All right, hope everybody's having a good day, and we will see you tomorrow to continue work. Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday, August 20th, 2022, and it's time to start working again on the first act Bengal Tiger electric guitar build. And I'm trying to come up with a pattern on what I want to present on the guitar. These are definitely the colors and the pattern type of pattern that I want to put on the body of the guitar. I measured the guitar in the other room, and it's roughly 13 inches by 16 and a half, 17 inches. So I've got this picture. It's a Strat body, and you know, we've got more of a telly body that we're putting this onto. So the widest there is 13 inches, and then roughly 16 and a half, which is probably about good there. You see where it's 16 and a half. So, you know, this pattern right here. So let me get out some paper and kind of trace it on there, and then kind of get a gist on what we're looking at as far as the shape of the actual guitar. And then I can get a first act, the shape of the body of the guitar, and then trace that out, and then compare it to the real body, because it's in the other room and it's still curing with the paint. And then we can kind of get a gist on where we're gonna put everything. But yeah, hopefully it's gonna be really cool. But all right, so let me get working on that, and I'll be right back. I got my 4 pieces of printer paper joined together. So now I'm going to put this over the pattern itself on the TV here, and then I'll tape that up there, and then I'll trace out the patterns, and I'll be right back. It's gonna be really cool. Alright, I wanted to show you what the pattern looked like traced out on screen, literally. Alright, so you see how I traced it out, and the rough body shape, and I'm gonna fill in these other bits by the back. Let me show you. Yeah, there's that image that I took, and then there was another image. Let me see. Let me take this off the screen so you can put patterns. I mean, you can draw your own patterns and come up with a totally unique design, but I just really love this design. See, now this is the back. This is how it's supposed to. So I'll fill in all the rest of the other bits according, you know, referencing this picture right here, and we'll be right back. Alright, completed the little bits, and I add my own little, you know, little spark on the thing, judging by the picture. And of course, I flip that picture horizontally, so it's a reference. But yeah, so I filled in the bits. So this is basically how the entire pattern could, you know, at this point, this is just concept, but that's what the pattern's gonna look like. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go online, and I'm going to search that guitar shape of the body and see if I can find a similar shape. There it is. I seen a picture of it earlier. Yeah, see, here's the exact shape right here. Let's see if this picture will work. Let's see what I can find. Yeah, see, any of these shapes, that's the actual shape of the guitar right there. Let me find the shape, and I'll be right back. Alright, I did find a picture online of the exact guitar. So that's the shape we're working with. And with the pattern that I drew, let's see if this is going to work. And I think it's going to work awesomely. Let's see if I can do this going. I'll be right back. Alright, got the shape taped up against the reference picture, and I think that is wicked. That is super cool. Wow, that is awesome. I might adjust it a little bit. Let's see. Maybe adjust it just a hair to the right so we get more of that shape in there. Yeah, let me adjust it real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, adjusted the template just a little bit over the shape, and I think that's gonna work amazingly. Yeah. And see, on the sides, I'll color in for all these different bits. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trace a line. That way I know where the set pattern will go on the guitar itself. So let me do that. Let me draw the line, because I measured the picture and it's 13 inches like that and 16 and a half going that way, so it should be fairly close to the guitar itself. So let me measure it and I'll be right, or let me draw the lines around the edges there and be right back. Alright, so that's what we're working with. I think that's gonna be sweet. That is wicked. Look at that. And of course, I'm gonna cut out these bits on the paper first, and then over on the transfer tape itself. And then these bits are going to be the ones that's going to be taped over, and the black is going to be saved underneath. And then I'm going to spray paint the colors over the body of the guitar, and the sides I'll figure. And for the back, all I'll do is I'll just flip over the bits that I cut, so they'll be the opposite, and they'll match up accordingly to the back as far as the front. So it should all go blend awesomely. And like I said, all the side bits I'll just kind of wing it, play it by ear. But yeah, that's gonna be just super killer. Wow, that's gonna be awesome. So alright, well, let's see the next step. Let me figure out what I'm gonna cut out, how I'm gonna do the transfer tape, and I'll see you in a little bit. Anyway, I'm not sure if the phone recorded the part earlier, but the way I get organized with the pattern itself is I'm gonna, I numbered all the parts 1 through 17 going clockwise, and then I figured I'd mark where each bit came from. So I'll do that off camera, and then we can cut this. But I've got a plan. Hopefully that what I filmed and explained earlier was on camera. I'm not sure, but all right, we'll see. Sorry about that, the phone cut out. I'm not sure how much you got to see of that. I don't know if I'm out of room on the phone. It might be out of room. Okay. But having the yellow on the inside, more of a burst color kind of combination. But all right, let me figure that out and get all these clips off on the computer, and then wipe the phone, and we'll be right back. All right, I figured out my plan of attack, and the way I'm going to do it, what I've done, I've marked numerically from the right to the left, going from right to left clockwise. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and so on. So I'm going to actually cut out these pieces on the paper here with an X-Acto blade. Then I'm going to cut out the exact same pieces on the transfer tape, and I'm going to leave the edges. That way I kind of have a ballpark of where I'm going to go. And I'm going to mark the transfer tape with the numbers, and I'm going to have this as a reference when I cut out I'm going to keep this piece of paper, I'm going to cut out the bits and then have it as a reference, and I'm going to mark on the sides where each bit came from. Like I'll put for example, I'll put like number 1 over here, number 2 in general, 3, and so on. That way I know where each bit came from on the overall pattern, and then I'll flip them all over, and I'll have all these pieces marked out. So then I'll cut out another separate, so there'll be 2 sets, one for the front, one for the back, and then we can apply it to the guitar, and then figure the side tapings, and then it'll be ready for some paint. Yeah, really exciting. Yeah, but I think that's the overall pattern I'm going to go up with the bridge and the pickup. And I like that there's a little bit of black and a void right there, and having the yellow with the neon green on the sides. And I might do it like a burst color real quick, not to get long-winded with this clip, but let's see how the color. Yeah, see, the color is like a stripe right down the center, as you can see. I don't know if I'll do it like that or do it like a burst color, like let me see if I can find another picture of like a burst type, because here's like here's a Les Paul shape with that same color scheme, and see, do it like a burst to where it kind of. Alright, got all the bits cut out of the paper, so that's cool. Let me get some transfer tape, and then we'll cut out these little bits on transfer tape, and then we'll flip them over, and then we'll cut a second set for the back of the guitar, and we'll be right back. See you next step. Alright, now I got all my pieces cut. I got my transfer tape. Now I'm going to transfer all my different pieces, and I'm going to mark them and then cut them out. And we'll have, and then, like I said, I'll flip over all the pieces and then cut another second set. And then we'll have the front and the back guitar taped. So we'll see you next step. Alright, see you in a bit. Alright, got the first set drawn out. I'm going to break up on the monotony of all this. I'm going to go ahead and cut these out, and then we'll do the second set next. Alright, see you in a bit. Alright, got the first cut out. It's a lot of work. Woo! Took a while, but it's going to be so worth it, yeah. Alright, so let me store these, flip over all the bits, and then make the back cutouts, and we'll see in a bit. Alright, I got finished cutting out the back plastic bits, and whew, I'm tired. I've been at it for about 3 hours now, cutting all these pieces, but I think the weather's good. I checked the body earlier, and the paint's had sufficient time to dry, and it looks pretty hardened. I think we're about ready to apply some tape to some plastic, some clear transfer tape to the body of the guitar. What do you think? You ready? Oh yeah, me too. Alright, we'll see in a bit. Hold on. Alright, how's everybody doing? I got the body out. I just wanted to show you how good the black paint went on. It's looking awesome. Alright, I just heard a thundercloud outside, so I'm debating whether I should start doing this now. But I just wanted to show you the paint real quick before I apply the stickers. I got the stickers lined up. I'll be right back. I did hear thunder, and there are clouds moving in, but I think this tape will be alright if I had to push it for a day. If I put this tape on the guitar, I don't think it would seep into the, because here in Florida it doesn't rain all day. It just rains off and on. So me, I apply the stickers and then see how it goes, and maybe I'll be able to spray it today or later on this afternoon. But yeah, it's not raining yet, but it's starting to cloud up. But alright, I'm going to put some stickers on there, and we'll see in a little bit. I applied the stickers on the back, and I think it looks pretty good. Let me turn it over, and we'll go with the front stickers. Alright, I think it turned out, it's a little bit different than that. Alright, how's everybody doing? Just wanted to show you the progress on the first act electric guitar. Wow. It is looking cool. Check that out. That is sweet. Yeah, it's had a little time to dry, but this paint, I'm not a big fan of that neon green paint, but it peeled away when I took some of the tape off, but I'd already done somewhat first round of touch-ups on the paint job, so just wanted to show you real quick. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright, we'll let this set for several days, and then we'll come back and then we'll apply some 2K clear coat after you do some touch-ups. But alright, we'll see in a little bit. Alright, just want to make another quick video because with the one hand it's kind of hard to look at all the angles, so I wanted to show you the bottom. It looks pretty cool. Yeah. And when the 2K clear coat goes over the top, it'll make everything the same glossiness, because you can see how the green paint isn't as glossy as the black and the yellow, but it'll all be uniform. And I'll go through and touch up any spots, but yeah, it looks pretty cool. Alright, see you in a little bit. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, August 21st, 2022. And it's time to continue work on the first act Bengal Tiger electric guitar build. And we are going to work on the neck today. We are going to tape this off. You know, I was contemplating going back and forth and thinking, you know, it could be easy just to leave the whole neck black like it is now. Maybe sand it, add another coat, make it perfect. And then just the front, do the yellow and the neon green paint and have my logo in black. That would be simple, straightforward, wouldn't have any issues potentially of the paint peeling like it did on the body. save myself a big old headache, or option B, which I'm gonna do because I just gotta, it's just in me just to experiment, push boundaries, and cause myself a bunch of grief because it's probably not gonna go well. You know, I can hope for the best and expect the worst. Not to be pessimistic, but with that neon paint, it's gonna fight me. So you know, it is what it is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape off striping patterns that match the body, and then save the black, and then do a yellow streak down the center, green on the sides, and same thing with the front of the headstock. Yellow in the center and green around the sides. Let all that dry, and then use the Cricut machine and just do black vinyl with my logo in the center. So, all right. So let me figure out. I've got my computer queued up, and I was looking at some reference pictures, but I don't think this particular thing has been done too often. So I'm gonna go by my pictures of what I did with the body, which I've posted, and if you follow me on social media, my Facebook page, you have seen these pictures. I'm gonna go with a picture of the guitar as the body sets down, because you remember I'm gonna put 2K clear coat over all this, so it's all gonna be uniform. And there's still some spots I have to touch up with the black, whatever. And I added this little extra section, and to me it kind of throws it off a little bit, but it's a custom art piece, so why not? You know what I mean? Because the reason that happened was the green paint peeled, and then when I touched it up, it looked different than what the shading was, and it was, your eye was definitely drawn to that section. So that's why I added this little black accent to it, and it hides the touch-up paint, because this whole thing was touched up, because when I peeled off the tape, it actually peeled off the green, like it's just hard to explain, but yeah, it wasn't good. So anyway, so I'm gonna take these curved pieces, and I'm gonna just take the regular old blue masking tape, and I'm gonna tip off the fretboard, of course, because I don't want to get any paint on that. But then I'm just gonna come up with a custom pattern, and it's gonna be like going towards the center in whatever unique kind of way, and then in the center like that, same thing, and then around the front, just a little bit on the front, but on the sides. So all right, fingers crossed. We'll start taping this off and see what happens. All right, see you in a bit. Fingers crossed. All right, this is what I came up with. And I left the tape off the ends, that way I can grab the pieces. I'm gonna have to do it very quickly to avoid tear off of the colors. But yeah, this could go potentially very cool or potentially very bad, but just gotta do it. Sometimes you just gotta stick your foot in there and just see what happens. So here we go. All right, let me go put some paint on this boy, and we'll see in a little bit. All right, we are all taped off. I got the paint ready. We're ready for some paint. I'm not sure of the wisdom of this move, but either way, it's gonna go down the way it's gonna go down. Hopefully it'll have a good effect, but all right, we'll see in a little bit. All right, just finished with the paint on the first act Bengal Tiger guitar build, and I am not dissatisfied with that. It could have went a lot worse. See if I get in the sun. The sun's very bright. There's a few spots I'll need to touch up, of course, and add some flares and points here and there, but overall I think it went fairly well. I mean, there was some tear away, and there's some paint doing this, that, and the other thing, but I think after this cures and I put some 2K clear coat over the top after I do all the corrections and everything, I think it'll look fine. And I'll put my logo in black right in the center there, and I think it'll look okay. All right, let me go take this in the house, and we'll see in a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, see. All right, just a quick final update on the first act Bengal Tiger electric guitar build. I'm inside, and I just finished the touch-ups on the back of the neck. I gotta say, that looks awesome. Wow. Yeah, that actually did turn out better than I expected. I was fearing this green paint would react badly. And I still might add some few touch-ups. I still got to put my logo, of course, on the headstock. Um, but I might add a little, here and there touch-ups to the headstock. Paint the black just to make it a little bit more, snazzy. But yeah, that looks pretty killer. That turned out cool. I'm actually surprised that it worked. So yeah, the green and the yellow look good. I mean, the paint reacted, as you can see, little spots here and there. But after I let that cure and I put sufficient coats of clear Spray Max 2K clear coat on there, it's going to make everything flat and beautiful. So yeah, just wanted to show you both parts together. That's going to be cool. Yeah. A little touch-up paint work on the $20 guitar. But yeah, not too shabby. So, and then I'll, once I get everything finished painted, I'll get this fretboard looking conditioned and really nice. And the nut came for it, the size nut. So, and I have all the parts. So it's just a matter of letting this cure for a little while and then getting the 2K on it and then making it sweet. All right, yeah, and the finish is really growing on me. At first I was a little, I wasn't really too sure, especially with this corner part, the top part that I corrected and fixed a little bit, but I think it really works. So, all right, and we will hope everybody's having a good day, and we will see you soon. All right, take it easy.